Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever wanted to build World War II models like airplanes, tanks, or even superhero figures, or any kinds of really military vehicles, or any spaceship or something cool, but you never really had the money to afford the parts for a model, right? They're exceedingly expensive, and all the tools you need to paint them, to assemble them, etc., etc. It's very expensive. Well, with this game, you can do it, albeit virtually. It certainly is a good alternative for people like me who have honestly neither the time nor the money to invest in something like this. Model Builder is, well, just that in virtual form. So, I've played with the game about an hour maybe or so, maybe a little bit more. I decided to start from the very beginning to show you all the features because the tutorial actually does a good job. There are currently two game modes in the game. That is Sandbox and Career. Sandbox lets you, I think, build pretty much anything you want. There are no tasks. There is just, you building. Career mode, as you can tell, is about forming a career. There is a bit of a story to it as well, but let's get into it and see what we can actually do. So, we have a Supermarine Spitfire basic kit by Hirakawa. A level 1 kit, which means it should be pretty simple, right? Level 7 being the most complicated thing we can build, and you also have the number of parts and the scale. This is... now, I say this with a little bit of experience, but not too much, so take it with a hint of salt. The boxes and the way the modeling is actually done in the game, the actual gameplay, is very realistic, and I really like it. Now, I say that having built a very limited number of scale models of anything. The most complicated thing I've ever built is a Viking galley and a 17th century ship. So, just keep that in mind, alright? So, shows the model kit currently chosen. There you go, we open the kit. I wish I could cut this out myself. It does it automatically. It lets you cut other things manually, but this part is automatic. Anyways, let me just play the actual noise for you, because the actual audio for you from the game, because I just realized it's playing on the wrong speakers, and the music's kind of interesting, and you can hear all the different things that we're doing. So give me a second. Okay, there you go. You should be hearing it now. So. Here we go. These are the instructions in some way, shape, or form. So here we go. This is the project manual. You need the A1 part, the A2 part, and the B10 part. You can click right here to find it. You can double click to take it. Let's find it. There it is. Or we can just take it straight out. You can also do these things manually. You can also, I think, just close the manual and ignore it, which I don't recommend, certainly if you've never built anything in the past, but yeah, it is an option, let's say. So, this is the craft knife. We need to carefully remove the parts from the sprues. Not really, okay? You don't need to carefully remove these. In actual real life, you want to cut these like as close to the actual model or the part as possible. Here you can just cut through the middle and it does it perfectly every time, as you can see. So for now we're going to need these two parts, and my personal preference is to cut out things as I need them. So for now, I need this, I need this, and I need this. I don't need anything else to be cut out, okay? Good. So, let's go over to, not the craft knife, but the assembly tool. Oh, it wants me to cut out at least two more things. Okay, sorry about that. Let's put this down, and I guess we can take out this, and this bit, and then we have the actual biggest part of the main, I guess, body of the plane, you would call it when it's like that. Alright, now, click and move a part to the working area, which we've already done, but, here we go. Obviously, you have a whole bunch of controls to rotate the thing. It's actually pretty darn easy. I mean, okay, hold control in Q, W, E, ASD, etc., etc. You can rotate it any way you want, or you can zoom in, just hold the right mouse button and rotate it any way you want. Anyway, so yeah, you can also do this with the keyboard. It might be useful for some finer adjustments, but I prefer to just grab it with the right click. Now, how do we connect two parts? Well, we sorry, this is the wrong one. We need the A2 and the A1. So A1. Whoops. Sorry. I never actually built the Spitfire. I've built a tank, and it was a little bit different. Yeah, there we go. For some reason it wasn't red. I think it was because of the angle. The tank I built slightly with slightly less trouble in terms of assembly. It was a little bit more intuitive, for me at least, because I'm more familiar with tanks. Is the point. Okay, double press R to reset object position and rotation. That one's actually very, very useful. Or just rotation if you click once. There you go. So we're building it. Obviously, it's not the most detailed build. It's supposed to be a bit simple, but now we've assembled this, we go over to the next page of the manual, and we need to attach this to, I guess, what you would call the base of the plane, right down here, or something along those lines. It's yeah, you know. All right. For that though, we need to rotate, I'm assuming, and then just clickety clack, and there we go. Right, or the base of the wings, I suppose. It's base because this will probably sit on the thing, on the ground, the table or the desk or wherever we put it. But regardless of the fact. So that was page 2. We go on to the next bit, and then we attach these top parts of the wings, which we should rotate the plane this way, really, if we're going to do it like that. And we just attach those, and then I'm assuming I can put this on right now, but let's stick to the manual, right? But like I said, even from the tutorial, you can assemble this, sort of without paying too much attention to the tutorial and the way, you're supposed to be doing things, supposed to be, quote-unquote, right? So let's get the wheels, let's get, I genuinely don't know what that part is, and this should be like a part of the tail of the aircraft. So, here's our build, and then let's grab, this should be A9, right? Yeah, the lower part of the tail, and we attach it right there, and then we have the actual bit that goes in the back, which is B12, and that is the actual tail. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. It comes with the wheel already on and everything, so we don't have to do a lot of finagling, editing, and whatnot. I'm assuming the order in which I place the next things doesn't really matter, apart from, obviously the propeller and the seal for where the engine would be. Now it's hollow, but that's for obvious reasons. And then I'm going to put the cockpit on, because I don't see why not. Unless I'm missing something. No, I really don't think I am. And then we put this thing right there. I genuinely don't know what this is. Air intake, maybe? And it's possibly. It looks like it feeds to the engine. It does look like an air intake. Like I said, I don't know much about planes. Tanks, much more my thing. And there we go. We've assembled it. We've finished the project. Do you want to finish working on this model? Well, honestly, it's kind of a silly question because I've finished it. There's nothing else to do to this model apart from paint it. But I'm assuming that we're going to be doing that later. For now, though, there you go. Assembly, perfect. 5 out of 5. Great. A Supermarine Spitfire. Good. That's about it. Now, obviously, you leave the workbench, you get to put it on a shelf. The one thing I do have to mention about this game is that it performs horrendously when you're outside of the work area. Now, good thing is, sorry about this for a second. My nose. Good thing is, you're not going to be spending a lot of time outside of the work area, right? The work bench. That's where you're going to be doing all the modeling, well, not really modeling, all the assembling, really, with all the different tools and everything. You also have a laptop here for, well, it's currently unavailable. You get to do stuff on the laptop later, right? Upstairs is closed for you forever, as, you know, there's a model there as well. As, you know, a proper model builder and basement dweller. Why would you even try and go outside? This, I'm assuming, is a cage for, something. Before this game takes a really dark twist, let's put our airplane on the shelf. As you can see, it's horribly tiny, and it's not even painted, but, you know, our first model, baby's first model, right? And then, the reason I'm sort of going, well, aside from the obvious things, the reason why I'm going through the tutorial bit by bit is because I think it introduces all the elements very, in a very fun way. And here you see that it's not just, you know, World War II miniatures and airplanes and stuff that we're going to be building. We also have a dwarf. A classic male cleric dwarf. Just not much to be said. Doesn't belong to any particular property like Warhammer or Lord of the Rings or something. It obviously is inspired by those things, but we get to paint. Oh, yes, we do. Obviously, this is a very sort of simple starting paint tutorial, so we only have a couple of things to do, and that is we're going to apply the brass, and then we're going to do... is it like this? The skin? I'm going to assume that's the color. And then this, no, it's a bit darker. Cork, yeah. Up there and there. And I don't know if that's it, or I need to do something else. Apply color to... use color to apply cork on multiple parts of the corresponding area. So I'm not quite sure what it wants me to do. So apply brass here. Really? Oh, I'm doing like a base paint. Okay. Brass. Everywhere, and then... Ah, right. Sorry about that. Okay. Forgot about those. Because there are two different types of painting thingamajiggies. So we need the airbrush to apply volcanic yellow, which is already selected. And then we apply that to here, see? I'm assuming that's what it wants me to do. Yeah, problem is, I need to apply extra, and unfortunately I don't see a way to clean this up from the edges to make it really nice and sharp. The airbrush doesn't seem to be the best tool for this, though I can change its size to something ridiculously small. can change the opacity as well. And yeah, we can go to a pretty ridiculous size, as you can see. Problem is, I don't see how I can zoom in anymore. Like, this seems to be the most I can zoom in, so... Yeah, I guess that'll do. And then pink pastel on what I'm assuming are the fingernails, right? We have pink pastel. And then let's go with a size 2 brush. It's also not very visible on the white. It's also not very visible, period. Whoops, sorry, that was put my mouth too close to the microphone. It's also not very visible, but it is an alright detail, I suppose. I mean, maybe this is just me being colorblind, but I can barely notice the difference. I can, but I can barely notice it, you know? Alright, there we go. Oh, this one needs a little bit more work, like in the middle, and... everywhere, if I'm going to be honest. Okay. I think that's it. So we can go over to the next bit, and then we can attach it to our guy, but then, again, this needs to be the cork color, right? As we can see here, even though it's sort of... this confused me a little bit, but yeah, you get the idea. So, we painted the hammer, we got the hammer, and now... we just attach the dwarf to the hammer, rather than the other way around for some reason, but there you go. Actually, I think I did a good job, right? The hands, I mean, the left and the right one look like they're matching, apart from this one having some sort of cut. Or multiple cut scars, maybe, there, but, you know, anyways, that's the dwarf. And that's what he's supposed to look like. I think we're done. And there you go. Also notice the different backgrounds for each of the things. Painting was, yeah, painting could have been better. I admit that myself. Painting could have been better, but I think, you know, it also could have been a lot worse. So there you go. We can also put this, I think, I might want to put it like down here. Because, you know, World War II stuff, fantasy stuff. Let's keep them separate. Alright, let's check out the computer, and then I get to show you what it actually does. Mail. And I think this is pretty much the standard for the vast majority of games of this type. You get emails, and you get jobs through those emails, and the jobs tell you basically what you need to do. It's the same for PC Building Simulator. It's the same for, I think, Car Mechanic Simulator, so there you go. There's also, what was it, House Movers or something? Basically Building Simulator or House Renovation Simulator. That also is a thing. But let's make this, the Wasteland Drifter. And while I'm making this, I'll tell you a little bit more about the game, and I'll tell you what I think about it. But before we actually get into any of that, let me just go over to the Options menu. And let's take a look at the things. So I had to put the graphics down to medium because here's the thing. When I'm actually on... I realized I was getting a headache from this game. Didn't quite understand why. There we go, much better. So, oh, I love this little detail. Here's the thing, right? The game performed ridiculously terribly here in this room, even though there's nothing here, right? I mean, not a moving fan and thing. Also, the game features what is probably the strongest depth of field on planet Earth. Hey, look at this. That is instant and ridiculously strong. I think I might be getting a slight headache from that too. Anyways, it's all tweakable. I think I can turn off depth of field somewhere in here. Yeah, definitely I can turn it off, so... now it's not as bad. Anyways, it's good when you want to focus on models, but when you're actually trying to walk around the room, it is horrid. Okay, there's like 50 million different colors here, so let's open the box. This is going to be our first more complicated build, though nowhere near the max level of complexity. Even here, it like occasionally freezes sometimes. Now, I admit my computer is not the greatest. It is showing its age a little bit, but I can run most modern games at 60 FPS and 1080p. Like, why would this be a problem? Anyways, we're going to start with the first step, and that is to apply a number 5 earth brown to everything. So, let's grab the thing here, go to paint, and apply not cork, but brown, and then we have all sorts of browns, right? Obviously, you unlock even more colors as you play the game, so you can really really get ridiculous with everything. Alright, and I think, based on what I'm seeing in the manual, I'm supposed to apply the brown color to quite literally every single nook and cranny here, and then that sort of acts as our base color, and then we sort of move on from there, right? Good thing is, as far as I've noticed, you can paint over things like 1,000,000 times, and you won't get punished for it. So yeah, there you go. Okay, now, here's the thing. I'm now supposed to apply grey and dark aluminum there and grey there. Okay, that's how it works. Fine. I think I misread the previous manual a little bit. So grey brown on the seat, and it looks to me like it's, I'm not sure if it's the entire seat, but it wouldn't make much sense for it to be the entire seat, right? Like all of this. So I guess I'm going to apply it just there for now. And then I have the aluminum thing on the, or aluminium. I've caught myself calling it aluminium or aluminum more than not, mostly because I've been bullied into it. So dark aluminium. There we go. It picks it automatically for you, which is convenient. And there we go. Now, I guess the ultimate test for this game is, do I feel the same pleasure and the same sort of, you know, relaxing feeling that you get when you're actually building a scale model in the real physical world? Obviously not, right? It's a video game. You can't touch these models, you can't whoosh them around or whatever you want to do with them. You can't display them in your room, you have them just in video game form. But at the same time, I think this is a fantastic way to get into model building and see if something like that would interest you. For example, maybe painting this nook right here or these nails is exceptionally annoying. But would you find any sort of entertainment value in trying to figure out the best way to do it? I kind of would, which is why model making and well, not making, but model painting and model assembling is something that I like. I guess I'm just a complete nerd that way. It is a good sort of entry into this whole world, and yeah, you know, also the same for painting Warhammer miniatures or whatever. So, with that said, I really like the concept. I really do. Of course, the only slight problem here being, oh, whoops, what the hell was that? My neck just snapped. Alright, let's, oh, really, did I, that's not what was supposed to happen, but fine. Okay, so we did this, now we're doing this. Mind you, it's also on the paint thing, and what did I think it was here? Never mind. Pull this out, get the paint, get to the paint station. Alright, just could have done that a lot more simple. A lot simpler even. Dark aluminium already picked for us, and now we just color everything with dark aluminium. So like I was saying, it is fun, and you do get a lot of satisfaction, or at least I do, from painting all the little, you know, bits, nooks and crannies like this, and I do like it, but it's a good test for to see if you would like something like this, in case you want to transition over to the real thing. As far as the actual gameplay and the gameplay value of the game is concerned, it's not bad. Obviously, a game like this will depend heavily on the number of models you can build. If it's, 50 models, then the game's not very good, because, you build them rather quickly and then you're done with the game, and chances are you're not going to build the same Spitfire 15 times. Maybe just painting it slightly differently every time, right? You can do it a couple of times, but, yeah, the value is lost there. On the other hand, though, can I move over to the, and just, yeah, thank you, alright. Okay, assembly tool. Give me this. Down there, it's kind of difficult to talk and focus on building, but hey. Okay, anyways, that's enough of building this thing. You're about to leave your project, all changes will be saved and you can later return to work. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna leave this project for now. I want to head on over into the sandbox mode. Or save progress. Well, let's save progress then. There we go. Now, let's unleash our creativity. Head over here. Projects. New project. And you can just build this tank. There's a couple of paint schemes for it, which is the French Army 1940, the Le Buffle 1940, and the Custom R350 tank, which is your own custom paint job for it. These are the couple of things that we have already, so the dwarf and these models, that's fine. We also have this thing, and then these. And then that's about it. These are all the available models currently. If you're wondering what the scale of the Königstiger is, it's a 1 to 35 scale with 59 parts, level 5 difficulty. Let's open it up so you can see what you get inside. But as you can see, there's not 50 models here, there's significantly less. Which makes this game a great concept, but with such a limited number of models available, yeah, I'm not sure I could recommend it. Speaking of, let me just pull this up for you really quickly. So, reading this off the Steam workpage, or the Steam store page, sorry. Link will be in the description down below, of course, if you want to check the game out there for yourselves. It does have good reviews, released a couple of days ago, developed by Monolith SA and published by Green Man Gaming Publishing. This, I believe, is from the same people that brought you House Flipper, which is the house remodeling game that I talked about just a couple of minutes ago. I forgot its name. There you go. Now you have it. Of course, the main issue with this currently is that there are not enough models. However, this is something that can be very, very easily fixed, either through the addition of some DLC or just free updates to the game, or maybe even modding and having the community produce some models. I think that'd be great. For future reference. Currently, the game is 15 euros something, I think 15.11 for me with taxes and everything. So, yeah. Like I said, I think it's an amazing idea. I really, really do. And all the different things you can do with the models, like display them, or, maybe even adding a few more displays, or, a couple of more places to play around with the models that you've built. Maybe like building a scene out of World War II, right, with having tanks and infantry and have some like soil or something on the ground, or on the table somewhere. That might be interesting and cool. The potential is definitely there. However, problem currently is this. Models is very, very limited. Now, by the time you're watching this, they might have added a few more. Obviously, that would be amazing. Have the Arizona battleship as well. This one is this is now quite the thing, right? Let's open it up and see what it looks like. Yeah, that is a lot of work to be put in, right? Heck yeah, I love the manuals. They are, I think, detailed enough, but not too detailed to be gamey, right? You can't, like, you can zoom this in, but you can't rotate it, obviously, because it's paper and it's a page. Like I said, this is a great game for trying out model building and seeing whether you might like something like this. Outside of that, great potential, but for now, I would reserve judgment until I see how many things are actually put into this game, let's say a couple of months from now. That's about it from me. Visually, the models look alright. They could be a little bit better, but then again, when you... Oh, unfortunately, it's not here. Okay, let me just load this back up really quickly. Thing is, though, when you actually zoomed into them and building them, you can see, you know, they're not exactly photorealistic, but there's a lot of detail, and it's great. And when you display them like this, you know, especially a tiny model like that, honestly, there's a lot more detail on this tiny unpainted model than some of the cheaper models you can buy online and assemble them, so definitely no complaints there. Plus, you gotta remember I'm not playing on the highest graphics settings because of the entire performance issue, which I'm sure will be fixed eventually. So anyways, that's it from me for this video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I just realized that the clock on the computer is actually realistic, so yeah. I mean, realistic. It corresponds to your system time on your PC, so that's pretty cool. Alright, that's about it. Is it worth buying? I would say hold off until they add some more models and then get into it, and you know, you can build to your heart's content without having to spend hundreds, if not thousands, of euros each month on tools and paints and whatnot. Okay, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe down if you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions about well, the game or anything really, feel free to ask down below, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Until next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.